Hello everyone, my name is Raimonda Gachaite. I'm working in a Compass charity in project Baripen, and I would like to introduce my colleagues, where it's our first actually podcast, and it's not the last obviously, but now I would like more to talk about our very precious project Baripen. First is Peter Torak. Can you introduce yourself please?
Hi, my name is Petr Torak, MBE. I'm the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of Compass Charity.
And second is Mizigar. Michael.
Yes, hello, my name is Michal Mizigar, and I am in the project of Baripen as a project archivist.
Thank you. And can you guys a bit talk briefly what is the project looks like?
So, if I take the first word, so the project Baripen, and the word actually Baripen means pride, started between myself and Michael, thinking about what actually is missing here. And when we were talking to the schools, teachers and all the professionals, we very quickly realized that what is missing here is a cultural center, a place, a one-stop place where academics, students, teachers, and other people interested in Roma culture and history could go to.
And Mizigar, could you tell me what audience this project would catch, and to who is this project actually?
Do you mean like to who is the project is like the dedicated?
Who is the target audience of this project? Yeah.
Yes, of course. So it is like whole the society. We want make the something which will like beneficial for non-Roma people so that they can have opportunity like to go somewhere to learn something, to find information, like to get uh, our our perspective, because Roma people still have not been well represented in the media, in the movie, and the discourse in general is really anti-Gypsyistic against the Roma. And also, we want also to be the place where the Roma people, Roma children will come, will find the information about themselves, about their origin, what will them give the reason, like not to be ashamed of their origin, because Roma culture and history are very rich, and just we just do not know about this a lot, and there are many stories which need to be shared and told, and we should be really proud about them.
Thank
and
you.
this is missing.
Yes. Then to literally clarify this, then what problems does your projects aim the most to solve? What is the main problem of all this actually, what we want to solve?
Sure. In the very beginning, how the idea like they came up in our discussions was that the Petr is realizing the letter project Roga, which means like Roma of great abilities, which was bespoke the project intended for the collaboration between the Roma children, parents, and the school. And in frame of this project, we were taking the British like teachers to the Czech Republic and to Slovakia. And once we took them to the Museum of Brno in Roma culture, and I never will forget about this how the teachers were surprised that they could see the culture, the books, and the other things about the Roman culture. And they since at that time they were asking us whether we cannot produce some material which they can use at the school during the classes, or also the second thing is what we really can see that here is growing up the second or the third generation of Roma people who came from Eastern European countries, and these people are facing the challenges of their identities, because it's not in the educational system. They are not anymore connected like to the communities in their countries of origin. And here they are like growing up in the society with the two labels of Eastern European and also with Roma. So it's really hard, and we believe that our project really has what to offer, like for them, like a really important part, because everyone is reaching the moment when you need to come and you need to know about you something. You need to, yeah, you can be the proud of something. And the same is also happening in among the non-Roma, who are really like the producing nonsenses, stereotypical depiction of Roma. So we also wants to be like there for them here to show them the materials, and also provide them with the consultations so that they can be not so much generalizing, romanticizing, and just like to provide general unbiased information.
It's just how I understood is missing more information about Roma culture,
Yes, a lot,
literally,
a lot.
and not just for Roma people, but also for the
Whole society
whole society.
in general.
Exactly. And what else? Because could you mention about racism? I mean, I'm thinking, or like to mention about racism, also what Roma people is facing nowadays. And I think to introduce Roma people with the to society would be maybe a bit less racism at the same time. Yeah.
We believe that, and this is the way why we need also archive. We need our data. Imagine, I have experience when I was writing diplomacy, my diploma thesis, and it's really hard to find any archive which is like the consisting of materials which are relevant to Roma history. It's really separated, and therefore we need to describe, like to gather information, because this is also our intention, like for the next, like the phases, which is also to teach human rights, the citizenship, because and like for this, like in the very beginning, we need to gather these informations, because only then when Roma will know will have education and will know their identity, and will have awareness about what is happening, only then at this moment Roma really can uh, like the fight and the combat the anti-Gypsyism, like yeah, like the partners for the other institutions.
Okay, thank you. It's very inspiration, but it's just a simple question. What was the? How is this idea came? What was this? Aha! Question mark. You know, like yes, I know what I need to do. What was the push to create this Baripen?
I think that I'm now
I think
speaking
Peter,
too much.
yeah,
Yeah,
Peter
for
was
Peter.
ready to talk about this.
So the first impulse, as actually Michael has mentioned already, was when we have observed the need for teachers to have resources to teach Roma culture and Roma history. And we've straight away seen this, and we've spoke about it, and came up with the idea of creating a resource center and cultural center, not only for the academics and the teachers, but also for the Roma community to go to. If they want to teach languages to their children, they have no books, no dictionaries. So we started playing with the idea of a resource center, and then we actually started talking to other people active in the Roma community, and find out that there is a huge archive left in Serbia after Polanski. Documents including information about Holocaust in Czech Republic, information about refugee camp in Mitrovica, Kosovo, and other very interesting and precious items that were left in Serbia after Polanski died. And we thought that that would be the amazing start for this idea of a resource center.
That was aha.
Yes,
Got
that
it.
was.
Okay, and what challenges you faced in a process to get this project, to start this project? What challenges was the most hard?
I would say the first challenge was to get the archive into the UK. Obviously, get the ownership rights for the archive, then get and figure it out how to transport 250 kilos worth of material into the UK. Whether it would be by transporting it by car or a van, by air, or different means. So that was another thing. Then to find enough resources, financial resources, to actually go and recover all this archive and transport it into the UK. And when we had it here in the UK, to actually find somebody that would be happy to fund the work of preservation and digitalization of this material. So that were the initial challenges that we were facing. But then also, obviously, challenges in terms of convincing all the people to actually be part of this amazing idea, that we see it as an amazing idea. You know, people to actually believe. For people to actually believe in what we saw as a huge potential. And so that these were the initial challenges, but I'm glad to say that we've actually overcome all those challenges.
Can you tell me more about how the old archive of Paul Polanski gets to England from Serbia?
So after evaluating all the options to us, in terms of transport, we decided that the best, the cheapest, and the fastest and the safest route for actually transporting it will be by air. So our team, Compass team, actually flew to Serbia, loaded all the material into suitcases, and we've managed to transport over 250 kilos worth of material into the UK.
And can I ask also that the second challenge was resources, and how you get the resources for this project?
So initially we were relying on voluntary donations. So we've created a fundraiser and also used some unrestricted funds from Compass Charity to go and recover those items. Thankfully, we had very good support of the team, but also of our trustees, to go into this kind of adventure, I would call it, because we obviously didn't know whether we will manage to secure, after transporting into the UK, bigger resources. So we've used all the resources that we had to go and recover it, and only then we started looking for funding that would allow us to actually process this. And this happened when we've managed to secure funding from Lottery Heritage Fund to enable us to process this archive.
And at the moment, we are funded from Lottery Heritage Fund. And that's why we're working on this project. And this project, how far this project go already?
So yes, Lottery Heritage Fund saw the potential of this archive and gave us funding for about 12 to 14 months of worth of work. And its initial phase of work, it's actually preserving the archive, because a lot of it was already damaged by mold and by dampness and so on. By evaluating the archive, seeing what we actually have got, digitalizing some of the archive, and then showcasing the work that we have done. So far we are still going through the documents, and we are talking about dozens of thousands. I think there's about at least 40 to 50,000 documents that we have got in our archive. So obviously it will take time to go through it. That's why we are so pleased to have a Michal on board, because some of the documents are in German language, some in English, some in Czech, some in Serbian, some in number of different languages. So it's amazing to have a person like Michal that is able to speak majority of those languages that I've named. And we've also started showcasing the work. We've been to a number of different schools, different institutions, to show people the work of Paul Polanski, but also to talk and educate people about the Roma Holocaust, that quite often is forgotten about and not spoken enough about, and about the atrocities and the stuff that was happening in Kosovo after the war.
Your audience was the Roma community and any other communities, and how has the project been received by your targeted audience?
How the project is?
How the project was received by your target audience?
I think that we have very interesting the feedback from people because always where we are somewhere the coming with the exhibition, we always are for the finding some people who are linked to Paul Polanski or to Kosovo or to the Second World War. Another very interesting like the thing is and very heart touching is when Roma people, all the Roma people are feeling also the need like to share, like to preserve their memories, and they're offering themselves alone, you know. So we don't have to ask them, we don't have to negotiate with them, and this is very nice, you know. So I'm feeling that really mm, like I'm feeling I feel myself to be very like the privileged like to do this like the things which are not like described and like for me it is always to uh, open new adventure and to see uh, the like to see the context of Europe of the 20th century, of the Cold War, of Roma history, and this is really like the proving that as the society is like the considering us like the separated history. Roma history is not separated history. Roma history is really part of regional histories, micro histories, entangled histories, transnational histories.
Our
It's
history, yeah,
all our general
society
history,
history, yeah.
and like by this, when we are doing it, we are really amazed that when we are like the finding the things in archival materials that is not requiring only the knowledge of Romani of Roma communities, like knowledge or Romanist studies, but also of the European like the context. And this is like really like the proving that Roma are part of the society. Of course, what we can see now is the another part, unfortunately, but still, uh, uh, this only to come back is really like the proving that Roma have need like to share something.
Peter, what impact or change have you observed since the project started already? Do you see some impact or like any impact?
Yeah, I see impact on the side of first of the community where Michael was actually talking about the very positive feedback from the community and kind of active participation from the community where they are keen to find out, but also to uh, share their stories. We had recently one lady in the office that came to our advice center, and she actually, when we were talking about what we are doing, she said, "Oh, actually, my father was a partisan in the Second World War." And suddenly they are willing to share their stories and testimonies. So it's active participation from the community. But on the other side, it's also the academia and all the professionals within this field. That's something that I was talking at the beginning about the challenges. I was worried how this will be received by people that are already active and know in this in this area of work. But we are so pleased that people actually are receiving this idea of a Roma archive and cultural center so positively. We are actually being approached by people that have written dozens of books and been active in the Roma activism for decades and are donating their archives to us. I can name Robert Dawson as one of those persons that has been in contact with us, but also prominent member of the Roma communities like Ian Hancock and many others that are actually now joining us. And that's something that that exceeded my expectations actually. That suddenly we have got a steering group of probably 10 plus people, and we have got academics, we have got Roma professionals in history, Roma artists, you name it. But it's just amazing how impactful this idea has become.
Could you name it more? Who is interested in this Baripen and who is collaborating with us and partnerships? Could you name it more, please?
So you mean like the people or
Yeah,
the
the
institutions?
successful people who is interested in the Baripen as a project, as a culture archive center for Roma people.
Yeah, since we like announced to the society via our friends and via the social like the networks, we have to appreciate also the institutions which were very helpful, like the Museum of Roma Culture in Brno, the director Jana Horvátová, who gave us like the consultations, and or also the institutions here in the UK, in London. It was like the Wiener Library, and also the other people now I cannot really remember, but it are mostly people who are like experts and the professional historians, academics, or already Petr was mentioning, also Professor Jan Hancock, who has who has a great library in Texas, in Austin, where he was like teaching at the university, and you can also add maybe more people because now I cannot remember who everyone is like collaborating with us.
Yes, we are still, creating this steering room and working on it. But yeah, majority of those people we have already mentioned. But what we are very keen is to have a representation of academia, but also of Roma leaders and Roma professionals that are active in this field. So, because what we want from this is to be about us, with us. This is the different approach from quite often approaches where it is if it's led by academia, it's about Roma but without Roma. We want this to be fully inclusive and led by the Roma community.
And one more question, not the last, but now the project is about dealing with archive, process the documents, papers, and the books. But what is your future plans? What is gonna be next?
My vision for Baripen is actually to become one-stop shop where everyone can come to get information, to be active, to learn new skills, and to have open discussion and dialogue. In a place where we will be celebrating culture, where we will be able to display art of Roma artists, where we will be able to have conferences and seminars about Roma history, Roma culture, and art. Where we will be able to engage young people in a conversation and encourage them to participate in kind of in the city level, and also for academics to come and do their research in terms of Roma history. So it would be really fully inclusive, but ultimately it could become something like a museum. Because that's something that we are missing here. Yes, there are number of museums that are including Roma history or Roma heritage, but we would like to have this museum based pure, specifically on the Roma communities across the world.
Thank you.
And also, if I can add, it also involves not only like this work which like the Petr said, but before we are going to do it and we are going to have it, we have to make also a lot of the negotiation, because in this country, Roma culture is not like the perceived like as vulnerable the culture of. I mean, like the Roma people are not like the topic in the topic of the school, of the education, the curriculum, and also in this like the things. So we also our goal is like our indirect goal is also to make Roma culture more visible among the other institutions in the United Kingdom.
Thank you. How do you plan to keep this project sustainable over the long term?
So we are now in process of seeking more funding. Obviously, I'm being a charity. We will be relying on funding, but ultimately, when we manage to secure enough funding to open a venue that will become archive and cultural center, we are hoping to generate income to make it sustainable. The income generation will come mainly from schools, excursions or schools visits with their pupils, from doing cultural events and seminars, training for frontline professionals, and so on.
What has been the biggest lesson you've learned through this process? Some difficulties or just a lesson who you learn, because that was a new field for us, and we really was new in there and we didn't know nothing. Then it was something what you learn.
I cannot say that I've learned a new thing, but something that I've reassured myself in, and it's something that I always say to the students, as Michael said, students of Roga, of the mentoring project. I always say to students, don't ever give up. Every time you encounter closed doors or obstacles, always trying to find a way, not an excuse. And that was the case with Baripen. When we started this, it sounded like a science fiction. It sounded like something impossible, something that is very expensive, very hard, long-term goal. But we were determined to make this happen, and it just showed me that actually, yes, with determination and hard work, and you know, the approach that you are not going to give up regardless how many doors are closed, just show me that we were able to make it.
Is there anything would you do differently if you were starting this project?
If there is anything that I would,
Is there anything you would do differently if you were starting this project today?
no, I think that it's all really like big adventure, and we never know what behind the door is like coming, which is a challenge. And I think that as far as or like so far, we are managing it well. Of course, that we are also lucky to have like the consultants, people around us who are very nice and whom we really like can approach and ask them. So I think that it's really like adventure in this meaning that we are discovering like many things, not only uh, like in the project management, but also of making archive. Now we are doing first the podcast, so I think that we are also learning like the many things every day, and this is amazing that we are not learning only for ourselves, but we are also making it also for people, and that and this is making me like feeling more that it has some value, So yeah.
And how I know through archive, actually, we discover lots of interesting things, what we could share with the people later on, not at the moment, but it's very sad things also, unfortunately. But I think all society needs to know about this. And
Exactly.
if people would like to find out more about Baripen and Compass Charity, where they can find us, and if they want to support us, what they need to do, could you please explain?
Yeah, so anyone that is interested to find out more about Compass Charity and specifically about the Baripen project, I would encourage people to first of all visit our website, www.compass.org.uk, and there is a specific section for Baripen project. Or come to see us at Gladstone Park Community Centre. We are open every day, Monday to Friday, all day. So you can come to see us, and we will be more than happy to share with you, so far what we have done and what we are aiming to do. But also you can contact us, obviously, on our phone or email. All these details you can find on our website. And lastly, you can also check our page, Baripen Roma Archive and Cultural Center on Facebook. So we are there. Also, we have got a YouTube channel. So there are a number of different streams that you can find more about our work.
And if people go on Baripen Facebook page, they can see all updates. And if they want to be involved in a project, they can always keep in touch with the Compass Charity, and they will be on a team of steering group or even just on a team as a volunteers, and they can help. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be very happy for any volunteers, for anyone that is keen to find out more or just want to give us a hand or to help us with fundraising. We will be more than happy and very actually grateful to hear from you.
Support is needed. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. As I said, this is about us, with us, and everyone can play an active role in this project.
Thank you very much. If you want to find out more about Baripen, the project Baripen, you can keep in touch with us, and we're gonna tell you everything what we know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Say bye.